everyone overcomplicates how to start and scale your AI agency. I'm going to be going over everything you need to be collecting with your AI agency. And this is exactly what I use to collect over $600,000, actually over 700,000. We have another payment processor as well, but you're going to take my word on that. These are all the systems we use to do that. And so I'm going to be going through everything. Firstly, we have the niche. We're going to be talking about the offer to construct. How do you present it to people? How do you make it appealing? How do you make them want to pay you for it? How do we fulfill on this offer? How do we get these guys amazing results so that the money they spent was worth it for them? You're actually providing value to the business, increasing the lifetime value of that client and getting paid more. How do you price it right to not undersell yourself, but also make it a price that people are willing to pay for? And then what are the margins? What does the profit look like on an offer like this where you're selling AI agents to businesses? How do we sell the offer? Do we use ads, which I'm going to cover? How do we present it to people? How do we put it in front of people and make them see that, hey, this is something they can actually benefit from, something they need in their business? I set up the funnel, what this looks like, how to convert these people, what we're using to sell it, the pitch, how do we present it on the sales call and actually close them? And then overall, what the whole process looks like and how do we scale it? So let's get right into this here, because when we're talking about the niche, there's of course tons of different niches you can go after, right? And people can be successful in really any niche. We have sold to pretty much all these niches here, other than a couple. And we've seen people and we've worked with agencies and helped them scale in several of these niches. And so what do I think is the best, right? There's these three main categories. There's home services, there's professionals, and there's info products. Info products are, like you see everywhere, coaches, consultants, e-commerce, certain things like that, where, you see it online all the time, right? Marketing agencies, a lot of these people who are selling info products, right? It's just online info. You're paying for information. Those people are good, especially if they have big audiences because they can benefit a ton from AI, which is great. But then there's also these other options, right? And none of these are bad, right? None of these niches are bad to go after, but it's just about which one is worth going after the most, right? The opportunity cost. What is your time better spent doing? Is it going after info products, professionals, or home services? And that's what we want to cover here. And so when it comes to professionals, right, these guys can benefit a ton as well. Lawyers, accountants, dentists, doctors, real estate agents. We work with agencies going after dental. They do well. We've worked with real estate agents, we've worked with accountants. I know people that do very, very well going after lawyers because these people have money, right? These are professional services. They're high ticket. They make a lot of money, so they have money to spend. The other option is home services. And this is my personal favorite. This is what we scale our agency going after for the most part. And the new agency we launched about 2.5 months ago that we scaled now to over 15,000 a month is going after home services, because I find it's the best niche to go after because they sell very, very high ticket services. Roofers, right? Roofing jobs are like 10 to 50 grand. HVAC is also very expensive. A heater installation, stuff like that is, 5 figures. Pool openers, also very expensive, right? If you're getting in-ground pools and stuff like that, that's 5 figures as well. Plumbers also can be expensive. Electricians, construction, also very expensive. And so when you're going after home service businesses, the reason I like it so much is because these guys are not tech people. These guys would rather stay away from the tech altogether. Their domain is blue collar work, right? And so overall, they're also very, very great people to work with. I love working with these contractors. They're amazing, very nice people. And overall, they make a ton of money. We've made our clients 150 grand in a couple of weeks, in 2 weeks. We've had our clients be able to pay themselves out 40 grand in personal profit in like a 2 week period just from the jobs that we got them. And so if you're going after any niches inside of here, I recommend going after high ticket home services because of the value that you can provide and the return that they can get working with you. Roofers, home remodelers, landscapers, any of the ones listed here are also great. We do work with an HVAC company as well, right? That was sent to us as a referral by one of our clients, and we're getting him great results as well. And so it really just depends on what approach you want to take. But home services is, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck when it comes to picking a niche. Now, when it comes to the actual offer that we're going to be presenting to these businesses, right? And so I'm going to assume, let's say we're going after roofing companies, all right? And so what offer are we actually going to present to these guys? Because that's the most important thing, right? The offer is the backbone of absolutely everything you're going to be setting up. And so if your offer shit, you're going to get shit results. If your offer is great, you're going to get great results. A bad offer cannot make up for having everything else being amazing. A amazing offer can make up for other aspects being bad. That is the power of a good offer. And so there's three main avenues that we're going to focus on when we're constructing an offer. There's going to be the most appealing aspects to a business that we can help with. One is getting leads. And so initiating lead generation, through running their ads, whatever it may be, cold email, even that type of stuff. The other one is going to be getting appointments. The other one is going to be closing deals. These are the three main channels that every business that exists is willing to invest in because it leads to them making more money and scaling. And so in a beautiful offer, you're covering all three of these and you're taking care of the lead generation, the getting the appointments, and the closing deals for the business. That's a type of offer where you could charge 50 to 100 grand, right? Even more, depending on the size of the business. But the closing deal side, we're not going to focus on because if you're not making money online, helping people close deals is not going to be in your wheelhouse for the most part, right? Unless you have sales experience, which unless you close, 7 figures in revenue for yourself, it's probably not the best thing for you to be selling. And so the two main things we're going to focus on is getting leads and getting appointments, because those are things that I can teach you how to do very quickly, even just so with some of my free YouTube videos, you can know how to do these for businesses. And so, because I cover how to get leads, how to get appointments, I show it. So you can definitely do that with just my videos, even our free school, all that type of stuff, which will be linked below. And if you do want us to help you implement all this stuff into your agency and help you scale to 10, 20, 30, 40K a month, just click the link down below, book a call, and we'll help you. And so we're going to be focused on getting leads and getting appointments. Now, when you're constructing this offer, what's it going to look like? What we do in our agency is we guarantee home service companies, let's say roofers, for example, we guarantee you 10 to 20 estimates per month. That's a great offer. But one thing we realized was when you're advertising for 10 to 20 estimates per month, you're going to get businesses where 10 to 20 estimates per month is appealing. And that's a lot of small businesses. And so what we did, we flipped our messaging, changed our offer, and that changed everything for us. We immediately closed 3 clients that week and have continued to scale beyond that. And that's because we changed our messaging to be, instead of 10 to 20 estimates per month guaranteed, we changed it to 50 estimates per month guaranteed. Everything else stayed the exact same, but we changed it to 50 estimates per month guaranteed. And what did that do? That started attracting businesses where 50 estimates per month was appealing, and 50 estimates per month was something they could handle, which for the most part is going to be businesses that are doing over 80 to 150K a month. For the most part, we've gotten some businesses that are doing, 500K a month, 800K a month. We work with some 8-figure roofing or home service companies, and we get them great results because they can handle those types of estimates. And then if businesses do come through, the crazy part is that for the most part, businesses were opting in. We were getting way more interested leads from the 50 estimates offer, but we ended up selling majority of them on the 10 to 20 estimates offer because a lot of them wanted to start with that and then scale up. And so we were still doing everything the exact same, still even closing on the same offer, the 10 to 20 estimates, but the 50 estimates messaging, 50 estimates ad, 50 estimates copy was what got more leads interested because it's way more appealing than 10 to 20 estimates, right? And so that's why it's so important. So we generate the leads for them, we run the ads for them, and we get the estimates for them, which is the appointments, right? And so we have a lot of intricate systems, which I've walked through in other videos on how we, track everything, get them great results and whatnot. But that is the offer we're going to be pushing. And now, how do we fulfill on this offer? There's a few ways that we're going to be going about this, right? And so if we're, setting up the ads and we're setting up we're setting up a lot of the systems inside of Go High Level, which is what we use, the automations, we're building up the funnels. We do all that for our clients and they pay us $50,000 a month for it. And so what the process is going to look like, the client provides the money. You're probably going to allocate some of those funds to your team members. Like for us, we pay a media buyer, we pay our tech guy, we pay our engineer, that type of stuff for the fulfillments. And then you're also going to have your contractor. And if you're starting out, you might just hire a contractor or you might be doing it fully yourself. Both work. A lot of the times in the beginning, you're going to be doing it fully yourself, or you might hire a one-off subcontractor from Fiverr, Upwork, your network, whatever it may be, to help with the fulfillment side. But overall, you're going to be doing a lot of it yourself in the beginning. That's why having good systems is super, super important. And so your client's going to pay you. You're probably going to allocate some of the funds to your team or the fulfillment costs. You're going to start building everything out. And then you're going to retain majority of your funds, which is essentially your profit, right? And so your gross profit. And so you're going to be keeping a lot of those funds because now you have money and you're ideally going to reinvest a lot of that, especially if you're under like 50K a month, you're going to be reinvesting a lot of that money back into more ads. Probably pay yourself out a little percentage, but overall, invest everything in essentially in the beginning. Double down on your ads, double down on hiring people, all that type of stuff to scale your business. Like when we were under 50K a month, we were paying ourselves like 10% of our revenue, 5 to 10% of our revenue, max 10% of our revenue, and reinvesting everything else into ads, systems, all that type of stuff to scale, knowledge, everything like that. We were paying mentors, we were paying for a ton of different stuff, and that massively fast tracked our company and made us make more money. And so when it comes to the fulfillment side, you're going to be doing a lot of these services yourself to start, right? Eventually, probably at the 10K a month mark, or probably maybe even a bit later, you'll hire a media buyer. You can hire a media buyer. We originally started paying ours $1,000 a month to manage about 10 clients and increase that as we continue to scale. And he's amazing, makes life so much easier. Now, when we bring on a client, we don't have to do any of the ad setup. He takes care of the entire ad setup for our clients. And then the other aspects we handle, a lot of it we have templatized and systemized so that it's very easy to fulfill very quickly for these clients. But overall, that's how important it is to have good systems in place, because eventually you'll have a client success manager, you'll have a media buyer, you'll have an engineer, you eventually will have a closer as well. So the closer closes the client success manager onboards them, the media buyer builds out their ads, and the engineer builds out all the systems and stuff inside of Go High Level, and the client success manager probably does a bit of the funnels and stuff like that, and then you're ready to go. You don't have to do a single thing. You paid out probably 30% of what the client paid you to your team, but you're fully removed, which is a very worthwhile trade-off. The other ways that we can talk about how you're going to build voice agents, for example, for businesses, which is huge. There's a couple things you can do, right? Is hire AI developers for the ad side, hire a marketing agency or a media buyer, like I mentioned, hire VA for sales scripts, all this type of stuff, right? We're not going to focus too much on the sales side just because a lot of you guys, that's not going to apply too much to you in the beginning. But the ad side, 100%, you could pay somebody $500 a month for a lead gen for a client, and then eventually you can get them down a lot. Like I said, we're paying $1,000 a month to a part-time media buyer to handle about 7 to 10 of our clients, which is like, it's like $100, $120 per client, right? $130 per client, which is amazing, right? Because if we have 10 clients paying us $2K a month, that's $20K a month. I'll gladly pay our guy $1,000 a month to handle all the ads and the fulfillment, right? It still leaves us at 95% margins just on that expense, of course. And then hire AI developers, engineers, all that type of stuff. Very, very useful. An engineer we've had on our team, he's amazing. We've had him for over a year now on the team. He's been super, super useful. He handles all the AI agent builds. And so he handles all our AI agent builds. He handles all our client AI agent builds. And he's amazing at the tech side of things. And he's amazing. Originally, we pay him commission per build, $250 to $500 per build that he did. And then eventually, once it made sense, we started paying him a salary, $2,500 a month to handle a lot of our 2,500 Canadian. So it's like $1,800 US a month to handle all the agent builds, right? It's not a full-time gig because it's not like He's working nonstop. It's like 25, 30 hours a week. And we were paying him 1,800 US a month, 2,500 Canadian a month to handle all the tech side of it. And so that's the type of stuff you're going to have in place when you start to fulfill. And again, if you do decide to work with us and help you scale, we place all these people into your business. We place the setters, we place the triagers, we place the engineers, we place the media buyers, we place all of that for you, the VAs, everything. So you don't need to worry about that and you get good quality. Now, how much do we actually sell this for? This is a very important aspect, right? How much do we sell the offer for? And so there's a few ways you can go about it, right? Right here, I'm going to be talking about the upfront method, right? If you're just selling voice agents or you're just collecting a PIF for like 3 months or 6 months, whatever it may be, let's say the client pays you 10K up front, right? Let's say it's for 3 months of work. They pay you 10K up front. It's a 3-month agreement. You're going to be running their ads and everything. So they pay you 10K up front, right? Amazing. 10K up front. Can't go wrong with that. And so they get 3 months of support. Client gets 3 months of support with everything, right? You're helping them with building out all the stuff. You're generating the leads for them. And then after that, they can continue to pay 1,500 a month, for example, right? They can pay 1,500 a month after the 3 months. The client, of course, covers their ad spend. And then the client covers software fees and everything like that as well, right? Which you can do. We actually cover the software cost for our clients. It's like $60 a month. And so we pay that, no problem. And so this is a way that you can go about it, for example. And a lot of the ways that we close clients in the beginning was instead of 10K up front, we just charge them 2K or 3K a month. And they just pay that monthly. And if they want to keep working with us, they keep paying that monthly. And so the minimum deal that we would close would be 3-month agreements, 2K a month. So 6K clients, pretty solid size and nothing too crazy. But then once you have, good results coming through, the clients keep working with you, right? We make our clients, we make any of them 50 to 200,000 extra dollars per month, right? And so they're more than happy to pay us a few thousand a month to stick with us. And it compounds, right? Because instead of just doing upfront payment, it's great, but you can do 50K one month and then it means nothing for your next month. Where if, let's say, something goes wrong for whatever reason, or something slows down a ton, or funnel breaks, the ads stop converting, you have no monthly recurring revenue going to that next month. So you can do 50K one month and then you can do fucking nothing the next month. And we experienced that. I remember we did 80K in a month. And then that led to us. And then we only did like 20K the next month, which was like covering just our expenses essentially, because we didn't have recurring revenue in place. Now with the new agency, we started to document it. We're charging monthly recurring revenue. So even if something goes slow, if we do 15K one month, we're doing 15K the next month. And that's if we close no other clients. And of course, we're closing more clients. So it always compounds, right? That's why it's always nice to have monthly support fees in there, monthly retainers, whatever the case may be, because that's how you compound, that's how you scale. And that's how you really continue to reap what you sowed and get more benefits from the clients and massively increase the lifetime value, right? Because I'd rather get paid $2,000 a month for a year than 10,000 one time, right? Because you're getting paid way more than double, almost 2.5 times, right? And so that's why it's going to come down to your fulfillment, make sure you have good fulfillment in place. But overall, the monthly retainer model is something I really like personally. All right, so this here, let's say you close a client, right? You have your costs. So it's going to cost you roughly $1,500 to have, if you do have a white label agency. If you have a media buyer, for example, you can pay media buyer $500. So this would be way lower. And if you have an AI developer, that'll be maybe $1,000 a month. But for one client, one-off builds, it might be $500. So let's say these two together are $1,000 for a single client. And then VA, you can have a VA for a few $100 a month. So let's say these are all $500 each, right? Which is pretty conservative, but very doable. So $1,500 total expenses. Let's scratch these here. Let's say $1,500 total expenses per month, not counting your ads, of course, but excluding the ads and your software expenses. The actual gross profit on a single client build like this, for example, would be, let's say, $1,500 total expenses, and let's say it's a 10K deal. All these numbers, let's just scratch these numbers here. Let's say $1,500 total expenses on, let's say a reasonable client would be 6K a month, or 6K for 3 months, sorry. And so let's say over the course of your 3 months, you have about $1,500 total costs on that client. That leaves you with $4,500 profit, right? Not including your ads. Let's say roughly you spend, say, $1,000 to get that client on ads. So total cost $2,500 in total cost for a client that's paying you 6K. You profit $3,500 on that client. Those are great margins. You're sitting at roughly 55, 60% margins. You maintain that at scale, you're sitting very good. Aiming for 50 to 65% margins, 50 to 70% margins with an agency, you're sitting very good. Some people will go higher, but it's usually from a course or a program. Course and program margins are very high. And so if you're running an actual agency, it's going to be usually in the 50 to 70% range. Ours is about 50. And so that's where you're most likely going to be sitting. As you start to implement more and more AI to handle stuff, you'll scale a little bit higher, probably past 60, 65. Now, how do we actually present this offer to people? How do we reach people? How are we putting this in front of them? We're going to be running ads. And so we run Facebook and Instagram ads, and I'm going to show you exactly what one of our ads looks like that's doing quite well right now that we actually just freshly launched. As you can see, this is our ad account here. I don't know why it doesn't show the total spend. We spent over 200K on this ad account now. Probably around 200K. And so I'm going to show you what one of our ads. So as you can see this right here, let me play this. All right, so here's an ad I'm going to show you. Let's take a look right here. Let's play this. Basement waterproofing companies, please stop using marketing agencies that just work with any business. You're only going to attract price shoppers and not estimates that are actually interested in $20,000+ jobs. My team and I exclusively work with waterproofing and foundation repair companies, and we guarantee we will get your business 50 estimates in 30 days or you don't pay. Now look, I know you have no reason to believe me, so don't take it from me. Here's what our clients have to say. Hi, I'm Nick Elliott, the owner of Basement Foundation Repair here in Wisconsin. I've had the opportunity, the privilege, the pleasure to meet Nick and Jackson with Insight AI. And man, it has been a blessing to my company. We have gotten
more leads than, man, they promised. So they over delivered, under promised, and I'm very, very thankful. Thank you, Insight AI. They are awesome. I highly recommend them.
Nick from Basement Foundation Repair and Waterproofing, Landon from Crawl Spaces and more, and many, many more. Here's the bottom line. You don't just need better leads. You need a better system. That is exactly what we do. We install our Triple F system into your company, a fully built revenue generating engine that converts completely cold traffic and strangers into high ticket deals for your company. Now, here's the catch. We do not work with everyone. We only work with one company. Okay, there you go. You get the idea. So that's what one of our ads looks like, and it does super, super well. And so we've created tons of different variations of that ad. Now, when it comes to the copy, we just use ChatGPT to write our copy, and then we tweak them slightly. And so we have GPTs now that are very, very good at writing ad copy that we give to all our clients to use. And you tell it what niche you're in and what your offer is, and it spits out very, very good copy following the structure that we've proven to work very, very well. So you do that for headlines, you do that for primary text, and overall, even funnel copy, all that type of stuff. It makes it very, very easy to set up all your ad copy. So essentially, we build out an ad. You can even use AI for your ads, which we used as well in the beginning when we had no testimonials like the ones you saw there. We just used Google Flow, Google VO3 to generate AI ads. And so everything was AI, the creative, the text, the copy, everything. And then you can even plug your AI scripts into things like ARCADS, where it's going to be a AI UGC creator. It's just an AI human essentially reading out your ad. You can do that and even throw little CapCut edits like subtitles and stuff on it. We did that in the beginning as well. That did very good for us. You can even do demo calls of the AI. That type of stuff works very, very well. And overall, that's how you want to structure everything. Use AI for as much as you can, right? AI is amazing. Don't rely on it, but use it for a lot of things to help you speed up the process, right? And then what happens when they click the ad? When they click learn more, they get brought to a funnel, which looks like this, a VSL page with a VSL. And when they click book a free call, they get sent to a quick questionnaire just to make sure that they're making enough money for us to actually be able to help them. Because if they're making $2,000 a month, they're not going to be able to invest in our services. And so when they click the book a call page, they get brought to the calendar page. And now a lot of these leads are only converting at about a 1 to 3% range, maybe about 5% to booking, which if you're in the 1 to 3% range, you're cooked. You're not getting good results. You need to be in about the 5 to 10% range, which is where you want to sit for the most part. But the reason that you convert more of these leads than just 1 to 3% or 5% is by having these systems in place. You can use AI callers. You can use AI SMS bots, which we use religiously. They're so, so good. It books us so many appointments and it handles the whole SMS conversation. Have go high level nurturing sequences going out, sending emails, sending texts nonstop all the time. That's how you convert closer to 20, 30% of your leads to book a call, 50% even to book a call. They get to the calendar where they're going to fill out questions about themselves, the business, to give you information. Now, when they book their call, they get sent to a thank you page where there's a quick VSL just pretty much telling them to confirm their call, accept the invitation, and respond to the nurturing reminders so that your show rate is high. Because bookings are great, but if you have 10% showing up, it's useless. So our show rates have always been minimum above 85%. And that's because we have so many good systems in place. And then you want to call it something. Give it a cool name. You'd be surprised at having a name, how much of a difference it makes just because it sounds more professional. Ours, as you saw in the ad, was called Triple F. It's the Foundation Fortune Formula because of the niche we work with. So it's our Insight AI Foundation Fortune Formula where we guarantee you 50 plus estimates per month or you don't pay. That's our offer. And then your name, AI program, whatever you want to call it, right? So you have the onboarding, is what the initial fulfillment process looks like. And so you onboard the client, quick onboarding form, quick onboarding call, get them set up, get their ad accounts, get access to their ad accounts, create a Slack channel for them, create their ads, whether it's a media buyer or yourself, create their ads and keep a database in Canva or whatever with all your winning ad creative so you can use those for your next clients as well. Ad review, you're going to review the ads, you're going to launch the campaign. You're going to set up your AI caller, your AI SMS bot. We use AI SMS with every single client and we use human callers to call their leads. Then you're going to have SMS and email sequences. We have a very, very extensive snapshot with probably 100 plus automations and workflows built out to track everything, handle absolutely everything, notify our clients every time an estimate's booked in Slack, track everything in spreadsheets, everything we have completely automated, a ton of make automations, a ton of this stuff. And so we just duplicate it every single time for every client. And then the ads are live, leads get closed, and your AI books in the leads and handles essentially the fulfillment side of things after the lead generation. And then as you start to get them great results, you can even place a closer or a salesperson. Like for one of our clients, the guy who you actually saw in that video there, we got him such great results, made him about 150 grand in a month just from our estimates that we were booking him. That we told him, hey, if you want to stop doing the estimates yourself, we can hire and train a salesperson and put that in for you. And so we're probably going to charge, I don't know, 5, 10K one time to train a salesperson, put them into the business for him so that he doesn't even need to go in person for the estimates anymore. And so that's an upsell potential that you can have on the sales side of things. And so that is a quick overview of the whole systems. And look, it's very difficult for me to go very, very in depth on everything inside here. And so if you want me to cover any of these aspects more in depth, let me know, comment below, and I'll be able to make a separate video on all these. I've made separate videos on ads. I've made separate videos on fulfillments. And so if you want me to, cover any of these other aspects, offer creation, anything like that, just let me know in the comments. And if you want to work with us and you want us to personally help you build out everything you saw in this video, very in depth, essentially all the systems we use in our agency inside of yours, and guarantee that we help you scale, click the link below, book a call with us. And if you're a good fit, we will scale the crap out of your agency. And so if not, keep going, keep consuming all the free content you can, learn as much as you can, implement the knowledge, and move quickly, because if you move slow, you're not going to get results. If you move quickly, even if you make mistakes, you're making mistakes quickly and you're falling forward. So that's everything I want to go over in this video. Hope it gave you some value, and I'll see you in the next one.